Hi, my name is Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network. Do you want your business heard? Do you want your website visited? Well, call us at 410-581-8100. I said call us at 410-581-8100. We're one of the fastest growing social internet radio programs on the market today. You know why? Because we're featuring some of the hottest entrepreneurs, book authors, poets, and positive people. So call us now at 410-581-8100 and have one of our representatives call you as soon as possible. Because when it's all positive, it's all power. Positive Power 21.org. Hello, and thank you for stopping by. I'm your host, Jerry Royce, and welcome to Positive Power 21 Network, where you get your positive on. This is a worldwide podcast for growth, wealth, and success. Thank you.
Positive Power 21.org, Internet Radio.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Positive Power. I'm Jerry Royce. When it's all positive, it's all power. And I want to thank my guest tonight, Mr. Therone Shellman, for joining me tonight on Positive Power to share his knowledge and his business savvy with my audience. For those who are looking to get into business or publishing or authoring a book, this brother is very heavy. He's been out there for a very long time. Let me give you a little bit about his bio here. A little bit about Mr. Therone Shellman. Therone has an experienced professional in the area of self-publishing, guerrilla marketing, sales, product development, and packaging. He is the author of several book titles, 3 of which are award-winning. Some of his writings on self-publishing have been featured in print magazines, online blogs, several media sites. He has attended several creative workshops and also the Gotham's Writers Workshop in 2006 for the Screenwriting Level 1. Therone aspires to write over 100 books in his lifetime and write and produce work for film. He is currently working on 2 new novels and is penning his first screenplay. He has a company called Third Eye Publishing Company, which he established himself, and is currently his book titles. And welcome to the show, Mr. Therone. How are you feeling today, sir?
I'm doing fine, and I would like to thank you for having me on the show.
Absolutely, and I really appreciate you being here. We've been friends for some time now. I think we go all the way back to maybe 2006, 2007, when we was rocking the iRock Talk Radio Network, which is no longer. But it was a very good experience. I was glad we had the opportunity to meet you.
Yeah, I appreciate you having me again, like I said. And, yeah, I remember that first show that you had me on, and that's how I hit you up on LinkedIn. I actually seen your name. You know, a lot of times I get so caught up in what I'm doing that it's hard to keep in contact with people. But when I seen your name on LinkedIn, I was like, oh, I remember, doing the show with you. So I hit you up, and then you let me know about this new opportunity that you have going on, and I appreciate you having me.
Absolutely, my pleasure. I really missed this type of business, man. I had a really good time with it last, those years. Meeting people, people from all over the world, which was so fascinating. How this internet has brought us all together. I mean, one of the things that we always talked about as black entrepreneurs that we never really expand our network. How do you feel about that?
Well, it's just like with anything else. Communication and network is the only way that you can expand your opportunities. So it's important that, you get out there. And I'm guilty of it myself. I get caught up in what I'm doing, especially these last 2 years that I've been just really focusing on writing. I haven't really been in the publishing world like I was in the past myself. The last 2 years I've been focusing on writing new projects and redefining what it is I want to do as far as my career with writing and other projects I want to do. So I told myself this year that I'm definitely going to start reaching out to people and networking more. And this is one of, them situations. I had seen you, and I reached out to you. And that's what I plan to do this year. Like I said, just start reaching out and networking a lot more.
Absolutely. We all guilty of that. But, by me being in this business, I have to get out there. And I appreciate you coming on here, giving me a chance to, get back on the grind again. I'm talking to an intelligent brother who's really out there doing his thing, and I appreciate you sharing your life with us, your world. And then one of the things I'd like you to do right now is to share a little bit your background besides, except for some of the things I read already in your bio. So let us know where you are right now with your business.
Okay. Some of my listeners, some of the people that are on are probably from Facebook and they know what I do. But I started writing my first novel, I would say, around 1990. That was when I started the first draft of Love Don't Live Here. And it would be in 2003 that I would self-publish. I went through a Vanity Press. The Vanity Press is a company that actually helps you package your book. Sometimes they provide such services as editing, book cover design, et cetera, et cetera. It wasn't such a great experience, but I learned a lot from it. One of the things I learned was that the publishing industry is a knowledge-based industry. You really need to know what you're doing, and I also realized that I didn't have my finances in place. So I took a hiatus for 18 months to take a step back and do my research. And I came back out in 2005, and that's when I had formed Third Eye Publishing, and I put together Love Don't Live Here, the revised edition. And it was amazing. It was an amazing experience because right out the gate, I've seen a lot of success. And what I basically relied on is what I know, and that is hand-to-hand sales, straight up in your face. At that time, social networking wasn't that big.
That's right. Sites like MySpace.
MySpace. I would put, my book signings up there as far as the dates were concerned. But my thing was the ground floor. Getting out there, meeting people face to face, and like I said, I've seen success out the gate, and then from there I was able to sign a distribution deal with Biblio Distribution. At the time, they were the premier company that was distributing African American titles to Borders, Barnes & Noble, in the chain retail market. So after that, I decided to go on an East Coast tour throughout Borders, which I did. I went from all the way up to upstate New York, all the way down to Atlanta, Georgia.
Wow.
I would say almost every major city in between that area. And I did it not just for the sake of book signings, but also to get out there and meet people. It's important, not just as an artist, but as an entrepreneur, that you get out there in the world and you see what's going on instead of relying on the media, et cetera. This way you can establish yourself not just for the here, but also for the future, because through that experience, I was able to see whatever other opportunities would be open to me based on the different geographic locations that I visited,
Right.
That opened my eyes out. That opened my eyes to traveling. Like right now, in 4 weeks, I'm actually going to Texas. I'm going to be setting up at the military base, running a retail business where I sell organic skincare products and my books, underneath one brand, one area.
Wow.
And, it was through that experience of getting out there with my books, as far as doing the book signings, that opened me up to the opportunities outside of New York, because a lot of times we get caught up in whatever areas we come from, wherever areas that we're so used to, not realizing that there's a big world out there. There's so much other opportunity, and a lot of times there's better environments to do what you want to do in the area that you live in.
That is true.
I live in Suffolk County, which is the second or third most expensive place to live in the whole country. There's a million other areas that are more beneficial as far as economics. You need to be in a place where your money can grow and you could do a lot more. So
that's right.
That right there, me getting out there with my books, that opened my eyes out to seeing different areas and looking for other opportunities. So.
So now, do you Now, do you have a store? You have a store in New York right now?
No, I don't have a store. What my plans right now, when I go to Texas, actually, is to fine tune what I'm doing. I'm gonna be setting up at a kiosk location, and I want to fine tune it as far as what products I'm gonna carry, the branding aspect of my book titles and the products together, and I want to actually package that and duplicate that in other areas.
Right.
And in the long run, actually provide franchise opportunities. But it's been a process. It's been a process because, like I said, from 2005 to publishing Love Don't Live Here to getting to that point of getting out there as far as my book signings were concerned, and then the point of when my distributor went out of business in 2009, and I didn't want to sign with a new distribution company because at that time I started to really realize what was going on in the publishing market, not just changes, but how it's designed. It's designed for an independent publisher or independent author to not win, because it is a monopoly, even though, it is a monopoly. So from that point on, I said, in 2010, I said, I'm going to take a step back from everything that I was doing to really focus on what I want to do, not just for the next year or 2 years, what I want to do for the rest of my life, what I want to do for the rest of my career, and whatever other ventures I could look into. And that's when I started looking into, the organic skincare products, because I actually have experience working with companies that manufacture OTC drugs, vitamins, nutraceutical products, bodybuilder products, etc., because I was a quality assurance inspector, and then I was a production supervisor for several companies. So it was through me going through them situations with the publishing issue that I decided that let me take a step back and, broaden my horizons, broaden my opportunities, and look at, other things that I would like to get into. And that's when I said, what is it that I could push to my customer base? Realizing that 90% of my customers were women, and I said, what is it that I could sell to them besides my books? And, I said, this would go along with
skincare.
Organic skincare products. And I tried it out at different areas. I was doing it out here in New York for a little while at different areas, and I seen that, I could do this. And
so would you have set up like a kiosk? You had a kiosk, or you were actually moving like, different festivals and things like that?
What I was doing was out here in Long Island, where I'm from, I set up at a couple of places. Like one of the places I set up, there actually was like a fast food place. And I would just set up my table with my books, and then, the oils, the soaps, et cetera, et cetera. And then an opportunity came up. Somebody had sent me an email in regards to the military bases. And I started looking into them opportunities, and that's how I was able to land actually out in Fort Hood, Texas, at that military.
You going to a military base to set up the store?
So I was out there. I was actually out there for almost 2 years. I went out there from 2010, and I came back in I came back in January of last year. So I was out there for 2 years. I was out there setting up, and being that I didn't have anybody that's, my brother's in the military, but he's not an entrepreneur or anything like that. So I didn't really know what it is I was getting into. But I'm a daring person. I'm one of them people that just don't talk. I'm gonna, if I got $2 to spend and my time and my blood, I'm gonna put it on the line. When I started this publishing company, I put up $20,000 of my money. I didn't ask for other people's money. I went out there and I did whatever I did. I got the money and I put it up. So I'm not a talker. I'm a doer. A lot of people talk a lot, and I'm going to do this, but they're just going to talk about it. I'm that person that I don't care if the situation is not perfect. I'm going to go do it. That's the person I am.
But it was good that you had a chance to. It was good you had a chance to step back and look what the market was doing. Now, the country kind of went into a little turmoil around 2007, 2008. Cause that's pretty much what happened to us. We had to step back, like you said, step back, go get a job, keep the household running. Because I did have 2 kids to take care of and a wife, and then come back later on and just kind of work on a plan. So that was pretty much what you was doing those last 2-3 years. You just was looking to see what the market was dictating, or how you felt like you can push what you wanted to push, and then pull a little bit and see what's going on with the market.
You know, something. I think with me, it was just a point of just readjusting. What happened with me in regards to the distribution issue really didn't have anything. It had something to do on their end in regards to the market. I think the company I was dealing with, they didn't really understand. They didn't understand what they were doing fully in regards to distribution, and because of that, they ran into some issues as far as. So it had to do with them as far as the management is concerned. I ran into issues with them because of the fact that when they decided to close their doors, another company, a sister company of theirs, picked up the contracts. And it was just me making a slow decision, a bad decision of not getting out of that situation as soon as possible. They gave us the opportunity. They said, we're going to close our doors in such and such amount of months, and you have the opportunity to leave, or you have the opportunity to sign on with this new company, which is called Atlas Distribution, and they're going to treat you the same way that we've treated you, meaning that the same way that contract is designed, they're going to come in and they're going to treat you the same way. But when Atlas took over the contracts, they immediately tried to start some new stuff. And at that point, I decided that I didn't want to do business with them, because I know books and, the music industry is the same thing. It's a numbers game,
Yeah, but it is. That's right.
When I sat back and I looked at the figures of how they wanted to conduct business, I said, no. I said, no, I don't want to deal with these people. And at that point, I told the publisher representative, because at that point, I didn't know anybody at the top as far as the president, anybody that I could contact at the top. They had, when they initially contacted us, they just let us know that they were publisher representatives. So when I told the publisher representative, who is it that I could speak to, they gave me the runaround, So for 8 months, I was going through the runaround with them, and I decided that, I told myself, okay, we could play this game forever, I'm just going to
That's right.
Y'all come and tell me, when y'all want to work out the deal, because I don't want to do business with y'all. So
Therone, so when you was working with that distribution company, they weren't just carrying your books, but your other artists as well, because you carry other artists under your label, correct?
Yeah, and that was what really hurt me, because you got to understand that at that time I wasn't dealing with bank money. It was my money, so it was money that I invested not just in my projects, but it was money that I invested in 5 other authors that I had underneath my company. So, being that things were going so well from, the time that I started in 2005 when I formed Third Eye Publishing, I'm already projecting XYZ amount of numbers, X amount of Z amount of earnings to come, year to year. I'm already expecting that, So I go ahead and I invest in each project or whatever. But when I started running into issues, with this new company, I said, it's better for me to cut my losses, take my losses and back out than to destroy my career, because that was what was going to happen if I kept dealing with these people, because it was a monopoly, and I said, I'm not going to be in the middle of this.
Yeah, now what were they responsible for as far as just distribution? Were they responsible for your promotion and setting up your book tours for your authors as well, or that was all under you?
That's all under me. When you're dealing with a distributor, the publisher is responsible for promotions and marketing. Their job is just to provide the channels of distribution to the different stores and the outlets that you're dealing with. And the contract was exclusive. Had it not been exclusive, I would have been like, all right, whatever. Y'all could do whatever. I could still have opportunities to deal with another company or whoever I want to deal with. But the contract was exclusive that I signed with the first company, Video Distribution, which means that they had the rights to not just distribute my books to the stores, but to distribute my books to Amazon.com or online retailers. So at that point, everything was at a standstill, meaning my books were not being able to distribute it to the stores. My online sales, I was not able to obtain anymore. The only thing I was able to do was my networking in the streets as far as this street distribution, because at that time I was really big in the streets in regards to dealing with the NYC book vendors, because not only did I have my books out there with the New York City book vendors, I also was selling other African Americans, authors, and companies' book titles. I would buy them in bulk from their companies, and then I would in turn sell them at areas that I would be at, but I would also sell them to other NYC book vendors as well.
Right. Okay. So you was moving other books as well. So did you have what was your setup like? When you were setting up all these books.
As far as me, I would just, wherever I was at, I would just set up like a stand. But in regards to the other vendors, it was just that simple. I make a call and say, I got such and such titles, blah, blah, blah. And they'd be like, oh, I need whatever. I need 50 books or I need 40 books. And I just go deliver them. It was that simple.
Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so you was working it then. What's funny, Therone, I was always wondering why you never seen a book retail. I mean, because right now you don't hardly see any bookstores right now. It's like everybody's gone online or they just gone. But you never see a bookseller in like a mobile, like one of those big, like those libraries, like Pratt and Maryland. They have these units where they set up in shopping centers like a couple of days a week where you can return your books or order a book and you pick it up there, and they have books on stock. You never see that. I wonder why is that a costly venture for somebody to do something like that?
It's not so much about cost. It's more about developing your market. In order to a lot of even like with the independent stores, I'm just going to that, and then I'm going to explain a little more what you're talking about. You have to really know about marketing and really know about networking on the ground floor level. What I mean by say about that is you have to know how to pull sales out of a certain area within a certain amount of time, and also maintain a connection with them buyers, so that they don't go to the bigger stores, or they don't go
Walmarts and stuff,
buy books or whatever, So that's what it comes down to.
Set up a rapport.
Yeah, like I was able to do it because of the fact that I know that I utilize, I'm going to say this and be honest, I utilize the same skills that I utilized when I was hustling in the streets. Young, being a knucklehead doing the wrong things, I knew that if I went into an area and for 3 months and grinded there for 3 months, I'm going to build a customer base,
Right, yeah.
Then I'll go on to another area and do the same thing. And then I will come back every now and then to that same area, the first area, and grind it out. So I would maintain that customer base over there. So it is a science to it.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. So let me ask you this, Therone. Where you see yourself in the next 3 to 5 years, counting Texas? I know you're talking about expanding in some other location. I know you talked about setting up on the military base. Can you expand on that a little bit more? Where you see yourself in the next 5 years?
Well, in the next 5 years, I see myself bringing together the skincare part, the skincare, venture, and my books underneath one umbrella to, like I said, be able to package it as far as the kiosks are concerned, and to not just do one location, but to do, several other locations and be able to franchise it and sell it to other people so that they could set up that same business idea in the malls or whatever, just like McDonald's or whatever. Where
same business model.
Yeah, where I would provide, the products or blah, 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 X, Y, Z, and get mine off the top, and they make their money, blah, blah, blah. So, in the next 3 years, God willing, God willing, I'll have, I have this year, I'm going to have 3 new book titles. I'm going to have 2 novels and 1 poetry book. So that's going to make 9 books. In the next 3 years, I should have at least 13 titles.
Good.
And like I said, the branding is in regards to the kiosk, that should be all together. And just doing, business.
Yeah. So have you come up with a name? Have you come up with a name for your kiosk already?
Well, in regards to branding, I understand. I understand that name is everything. So it's going to be whatever I do. It's going to be Therone Shellman at the front because, I'm the spokesman. And I've built, everything I've done as far as my books, everything I do as far as networking out there. I've built it through my name. People have not just bought my books and the product because of the books and the products, but also because of the relationship I built with them. So I have to run on that idea. Everything that I do, I have to build it upon my name as far as the brand.
That's right. Now, let me ask you this. Let's talk about your skincare products a little bit. Now, are they going to be manufactured by Therone, or you already chose a manufacturer already that you really like out there is it pretty popular? Is it a small family-owned business, or, who are they? Okay, I mean, can you talk about it a little bit? Maybe not everything,
what I do now,
but you can.
Okay, what I do right now is I buy from 2 to 3 manufacturers right now that actually have their products, and I buy them in bulk, and I sell them at retail price. But in the long run, I'm going to be also adding on my own products as well.
Okay.
Because I do have a pharmacy tech certificate. I do have experience in manufacturing. I know about production. So that's how that's how I even learned about the book covers and et cetera, because as a quality assurance inspector, one of the things I had to do was review the labels of the products, with the UPC code, what is allowed, what's not allowed, what looks to be cosmetic as far as what looks to be sellable on a shelf as opposed to, what looks like garbage,
All right. Now, is this a good time for what you're trying to do? Tell us a little bit about the marketplace with women. I notice women are looking to become, it looks like it's halfway now. You got some women look like the little older women are going more natural with their hair, the shorter cuts, and then you have the younger girls really going off with the weaves and the makeup. So it's like you have 2 separate markets that you could cater to. Now, if you need to cater to the young girls with the weaves and the makeup, do you have anything for them? Or is it just for the all-natural woman? Who are you going after?
What I think right now, is a very, very good time for. I don't want to get into the older or younger woman. I think right now it's a very good time to sell products that are just healthy for people, because people are becoming a lot more health conscious, and that's just not with health care products. That's also with food too. You're starting to see a lot of vegetarian restaurants come out. I think people are starting to become more conscious about their life, and their health. It's a good time to sell products that cater to people who would like to, use products that are not going to be damaging to their skin or hair, nails, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, it is. You're right. Now, I haven't seen a vegetarian restaurants in the Baltimore area yet, which sounds like a really, really good idea. Because, I got my moments where, I said, wow, this is a good time. I feel like I want to eat healthier, especially during the winter months when you seem to be more drained. The cold weather tend to drain your energy a little more than, the summer months. I feel like it's hard to find fresh fruit. Like you go to farmer's market and buy fresh fruit this time of the year, where I think a restaurant would be a great idea. Now, do you see yourself doing something like that down the line?
Jerry, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. As I do what I do, and the future and opportunities open up, I'm not gonna limit myself as far as what I'm gonna do. As far as business is concerned,
right?
As long as it doesn't go against my personal beliefs, I'm striving to be a business mogul. That's what I'm striving to.
That's right.
At the age of 22, at 15, I'm gonna tell you something. At 15, I was young. I tried marijuana 2 times, and you know what made me not smoke it after that?
You weren't thinking straight.
What made me not smoke it? I said, man, I didn't, to me, getting high didn't make me feel good at all. And I said, if somebody gonna pay to feel like this, then I'm gonna hustle this. And from that moment on, I started hustling. And then at the age of 22, I was out there in the streets, and I was used to making a certain amount of money. So at a young age, I was used to, making a certain amount of money. So I'm not built for that 9 to 5. That's not me. I'm out in this world. I'm striving to get it, and I'm not striving to get it like by doing dirt, or having to get locked up. There's no reason that I got to look at Forbes 100 and I see a bunch of white dudes or whatever doing it, and I can't do it myself. No, I'm going to go out there and strive to do it.
That's right. So some of the things we've been talking about business-wise, you actually see a real need for, and you see it's a market for, because people are, like you said, people are concerned now about their health, whether it's the products they put on their skin, their hair, or in their bodies. So, I like that idea.
And I'm going to say this. That I myself, I don't eat no beef. I don't eat no pork. I just recently, 2 months ago, stopped eating chicken and fish, but I haven't eaten beef since I was 15 years old. So I'm not going into areas of business that I don't know about. These are things that I know about personally, just like with the skincare products and the healthcare products. I worked in the industry. Like I said, I was an inspector, then a production supervisor. So I purposely, choose to get into certain things because I know about these things. Just like I didn't get into sales and books or whatever, but I know about sales. I was on the street corner. So I purposely choose to involve myself in certain areas of business because of my experience.
Right.
And, and I think that for anybody, you want to become an entrepreneur, get involved with what you know.
Absolutely. Now you mentioned in your bio that you had worked on a couple how-to books, like The Secret of Self-Publishing. Are you working with young people, teaching them about entrepreneurship, just like you did, people learning about the publishing business, the ins and the outs?
I'm gonna be honest. At this point, no.
No.
At this point, no. And one of the things I would like to do in the long run is in regards one of the things I was thinking about is like an educational center. But right now, I'm focusing on my career, my personal career. Me having them 5 authors, and after learning, going through that experience with the distributor, I learned one thing. I need to focus on my own house and my own career as far as what I'm doing, because spreading myself out here and there
too
took
much
away from a lot of what I wanted to do.
Right.
And if I can't focus on me and build myself up to the way, to the level I want to be, then I can't help people the way I want to help people.
Yeah, that's true.
That hurt me a lot, by getting in the business and then trying to be everybody's friend, And I learned a lot from that. I don't play them games no more. Now I focus on me, and I don't care. I don't got to explain to nobody. I don't care how anybody feels about it or whatever, because, when my bills got to be paid, nobody's going to pay my bills.
That's
so
right.
I'm going to look out for me. People got to pay their bills. They, they're going to do what they got to do. They ain't worried about Therone. So Therone's going to do what he got to do until he get to the point of where he could sit back and say, okay, now I could do this, I could do that, and I could assist people here, or I could do that. But right now, I'm doing me. Just like in regards to my screenplay writing, I went to school in 2006. I took Gotham's, writer's workshop class for screenplay writing, and it's not until now that I'm writing my first screenplay. And part of that is because right after going to school, I got into the aspect of selling other authors and publishers' books and signing other authors to my company. So I put a lot of my career objectives on hold to do them things.
Yeah, right.
That was a learning experience, and that's not going to happen no more. I'm going to build my companies. I'm going to do what I want to do.
So you actually thought about doing the skincare products years ago before it got to this point?
But I got to the point where I didn't have no time because it was too much, especially when you're dealing with authors, because it's like in a lot of ways you got to be not just a publisher, but you also have to be a motivator. You also have to, in some ways, sometimes you got to be like the big brother, you know what I'm saying? You got to be,
That's right.
Big brother or big sister, constantly trying to pull somebody along,
That's right.
It's obvious that, put it this way, I turn around and I self-publish because of the fact that I said I don't need nobody to motivate me to do what I need to do. I'm going to do it myself.
That's right.
So
now let me ask this here. So when you brought your other authors, were they required to produce a certain number of books under your label, or it was just going to be one and done with them?
I didn't hear exactly everything that you said.
Oh, I was saying when you signed your other authors onto your company, did you contract them to put out several books a year, or they were just one and done?
No, every contract that I signed was for just that one title, but they also had opportunities to put out other books. I had one author, actually Barbara Grosvenor, and she put out, her first book was called Even Numbers, and then the second one was called We Belong Together. And I'm a fair person. I believe in doing fair business, so I didn't do what a lot of other independent publishers or publishers do in general, whereas when, like you said, they sign the authors and they tell them, oh, you got to put out 2 or 3 books buyers, for the contract to be valid. To me, I just, I don't feel that's the right way to do it. So
I remember her. I remember that author she was on my show before. Yeah, I think I remember. How's she doing?
I haven't spoken to her. In a while, honestly.
So then, like those kind of authors you had, like I know you had her first book, which was around, I think it was like 2007, 2008. Yeah, do you still carry that book? Or do you still reprint the book when you need it?
No. I did the fair thing. I could have held on to all the titles because we had a contract, but I did the fair thing that I thought, was, an honest thing to do. When I dissolved the relationship with the distributor, I went to all the offers, and I let them out of their contracts.
Oh, okay. So you're done with that then. Okay.
Yeah, so I let them out of their contracts so they were free to go on and carry on with their careers, you know.
Okay. So right now everything is strictly going with your books and the skincare products. That's
everything is my books. I don't have any authors signed, or I don't hold on to no other authors' titles.
Gotcha. That's interesting. All right, man. So like you got your path set and you're ready to go, and we're looking forward to see what's going to happen when you get out there to Texas. Because I hear that Texas is the place to go. I have several friends that went out there also for business opportunities, and they doing their thing out there right now. I know it's a big state.
Yeah, and, actually, like I said, I was out there already. I was out there for 20 months, and so I already know what to expect. You know, over the last 6 months, I've just been networking and setting everything up.
That's right.
I met a lot of people, and as with anything, you got to know who to socialize with and who to stay clear of. And
that's right. That's right.
Formulating, my plans and what I want to do. And it's not just about Texas. It's about, the long term, what I want to do for the rest of my life. So.
That's right. Now, was that your first choice to open up this skincare business? Was that your first choice? Was Texas?
No. I actually, excuse me. I have customers that's out here in New York, and it's just I had that opportunity to set up on the base out there. But being that I'm in the network with the Army, I could go to any base. It's not just Texas. I could leave from Texas. I could go to wherever, Maryland. I could go to
Virginia, any place. Yeah.
Oh,
okay. Oh, okay, cool. Okay, so you got the network in place. That sounds good, man. Well, look, dear, I really appreciate you being on the show, man. And you always been a stand-up guy and been honest with what you've been doing out there, and I'm sure it was good advice for people, because people really have to think out what they're trying to do. You just can't just go out there and just do it without researching. It seems like you're really, really good when it comes to researching and understanding the market that you're dealing with. And man, we wish you the best, man, and we want to hear from you once you get set up out there, and let us know how it's going out there in Texas. All right, how does that sound?
Yes.
All right.
And I just want to let readers know that if you're looking for my book titles, you could just go on Amazon.com. Just put in Therone Shellman, and my page will come up, and you could actually read free chapters and excerpts and make a purchase. That's
right. That's Third Eye Publishing, and most of your books are how-to books, or you had a couple, fiction and nonfiction titles under your name.
They're fiction and nonfiction. Love Don't Live Here, No Love Lost. Those are my two first novels, and then I have The Secret to Self-Publishing I wrote, and then Secret to Self-Publishing 2, which is the latest version of that. And then All You Need to Know to Become an Entrepreneur, that's actually teaching you how to start a business and the difference between the business structures, such as sole proprietorship, a partnership, LLC, which is a limited liability corporation, then an S corp. I speak about the differences in the pros and cons, and then I get into a little what I was speaking about in regards to hand-to-hand sales, guerrilla marketing, the different forms of marketing, etc. And then my latest book is called Third Eye Awakening. It's actually a spiritual book, which is it's actually doing well.
That's what I'm trying to get. And are those books offered in e-books?
Yes.
You can download to your Kindles and tablets?
Yeah.
Okay.
Actually, Amazon has an appointment that if you don't have a Kindle, it actually converts it into whatever ebook format you need it.
Yeah, because I just got a Galaxy tablet. Most of the time, I'm downloading stuff to my iPhone half the time. All right, it sounds good. Now, Therone, before you go, man, we want to know how you feel about work and life balance. Do you have any of that?
Work and life balance?
Yes, work and life balance. There's a big talk around government agencies and corporations now, especially with management, because some of them don't have it at all, and they think that their workers need to be like them, just straight workers, workaholics all the time.
The funny thing is, I'm not married, and I would say like at some there's sometimes I really look at my life and I say I wish I had that married young,
right?
Because I do, because when you're an entrepreneur or you're an artist and you're striving for your goals, you need to put as much energy into that as possible. And when you're a single person, you're dating, you're doing this, your life is being spread out here, there, here, and you got to strive to find a balance. Whereas if you're married, okay, you don't got to run out and chase. A man don't got to go chase a woman. He got his wife there, or vice versa. The wife has a husband, and that's just one less thing that you need to do. But it's very important as far as a life balance and work that number one, you maintain your health, because without that you cannot do anything. I know some people who they work their self into the bones and they don't care about their weight, their health, or whatever. And definitely got to maintain yourself first, because if you don't do that, then it's impossible for you to be the best you that you can be in whatever profession that you're in, whether you're just working or you got whether you got a 9 to 5 or you're an entrepreneur. So
that's true. That's true.
And it's not the same for everyone. The balance is not the same for everyone. Some people can extend themselves out there a lot and be able to do it all.
That's true. Now, I mean, are you in the gym? You're a runner, a cyclist? Because I know you got to do something for fun. Because it sounds like you grinding all the time.
Actually, I'm making plans. I'll be honest with you, I'm making plans to get back in the gym. I'm not in the gym. I'm not doing anything right now besides getting up in the morning, doing my writing, doing my work, doing my planning. I'm just like, I got a bored life right now. It's not bored in the sense of that I enjoy what I'm doing, but
yeah, absolutely.
Outside, if anybody was looking out there like, oh, you live a boring life, that's all you're doing. You just concern yourself with what you're doing, and it's the truth. That's what I'm doing right now.
Yeah, right. Like if you had to go out on a date with a young lady, she asked you to dinner, you guys sitting there over a cup of coffee, and she asked you what you up to, you're going to strictly be talking about, what we just talked about, right?
Yeah. I'm to the point where I'm so limited and focused on what I'm doing that I really scrutinize. I've learned that when you have goals and your goals are above the norm, it's a lot different if you're just going to say, okay, I'm going to work in this department store and I got time to party. But when you know that you have XYZ goals and their goals are a lot bigger than the average person, and you're working with maybe limited resources, or that you have to extend yourself more than the next person, you got to limit your circumference as far as who you let in your circumference, who you're willing to deal with, because you don't really have time for nonsense. So it's like,
that's true. Yeah.
Definitely when I look at ladies or whatever, I look at who they are, what they're about, or whatever, and some of them I ain't even going to waste time talking to them.
Yeah, I believe you. Yeah, you got to be careful out there when you're a young man.
That's not just for me. That should be for a lady. If you're trying to go
get
your PhD or become a lawyer or whatever, that you got to put such and such amount of time into what you're doing. You got to maintain your focus at 110 decimals more than the next lady that's out there who's just got a regular 9 to 5 and could afford to party on weekend. She could afford to deal with this and that type of dude. You can't afford to extend yourself to some,
That's right. That's right. Good advice. Good advice. Staying focused. That's what we're trying to do over here in Positive Power. And I appreciate you coming on, man, and dropping that knowledge on us, man. We wish you the best, the very best, and we definitely want to know what you're doing the next couple of months when you set up down in Texas. So don't be a stranger. We definitely going to continue to follow you on Facebook and LinkedIn and see what Mr. Shellman is doing down in the big state of Texas. So everybody, we appreciate everybody tuning in. Remember, everything is on demand, so come out to our website, positivepower21.org, where you can link on and visit any of our previous guests that's been on our show. And sometimes we do rebroadcast a lot of these programs on Friday night at 10 o'clock. All right, Mr. Therone, we appreciate you, man, and you take care of yourself, all right?
I appreciate you having me on, and I appreciate everybody that took the time to listen in as well.
That's right. Thank you, audience. All right, when it's all positive, it's all power. Stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, while we end our show. Thank you for tuning in to the Positive Power 21 Network. Team 21 would like to thank you all for tuning in, and please spread the word and tell a friend. This is Jerry Royce at Positive Power 21, where we get our positive on.
PositivePower21.org, Internet Radio.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's a wrap.